Once purpose is taken out of marriage, the pleasantness is taken away.
I say you cannot. I say why? I say because I'm Dr. Apoki.
I'm your friend Dr. Charles Apoki. I remain your friend Dr. Charles Apoki. I'm your friend Dr. Charles Apoki. I'm still dwelling on sustainable Christian marriages. And I'm still dwelling on suitability. Arrow number 1, the realization that marriage is based on suitability. And so we are looking at the subsection under suitability titled readjustment. Sustainability involves regular readjustment. In the last video, I gave an illustration with my wife that has had to evolve from the desire to be a teacher, became a nurse, became a matron, now a school proprietress, a builder, an administrator, a pastor's wife, a preacher's wife, grandmother. So it requires readjustment to fulfill purposes. I left out something in the first definition. Marriage is a willful union between two mutually consenting adults of the opposite sex for the purposes of fulfilling mutually shared ideas, ideals, and callings and responsibilities to God and to society. Once purpose is taken out of marriage, the pleasantness is taken away. We were taught in church that marriage is supposed to be enjoyed, not endured. Those who taught you those things were not realistic. Marriage involves a lot of endurance, tolerance of one another. If not, you can't marry. You won't understand what I'm saying. Things evolve. But let me say this. There is no formula that fits all marriages. Each marriage has its own peculiarities. And the husband and the wife, they need to hear from God, have wisdom and understanding of how to manage their peculiarities. So don't compare your marriage with another person's own. Don't compare somebody's husband with your own husband. Don't compare somebody's wife with your own wife. Most of what you see in church, most of what you see on social media, most of what you hear pastors say and do on the altar is fake, is drama. The reality is different. I used to do a program in a church, in their TV program. If you see this woman and her husband, if you see her introducing the husband, you will think that your wife is a devil. But they separated recently. They are no longer doing those showmanship again. If you had destroyed your own marriage by comparing one husband to the other, your husband to that man, you didn't know what was happening at home. I've listened to her. I've done programs with her over and over. If you looked at the ones, I won't mention their name, if you saw them in those days, you would think that they are angels. It's not like that. Each marriage is different. Each person is different, and their problems are different. And so you must sort out the peculiarities in your marriage and handle them. And it is this readjustment that is very bad, that people don't seem to handle well. You come with one feminist idea of equal rights, and at the same time a parasitic idea that a man should feed you, clothe you, take care of you, while you are empty, you are not productive. No, it won't work. You come as a man with a Christian belief that the husband should be honored, the wife should be submissive, but you also forget that a man shall provide for his family. Whosoever does not provide for his family is worse than an unbeliever. Respect and honor are earned. Are earned. I was telling my lawyer this morning or afternoon when he brought some documents. I said, a man must have money. If not, he will lose respect. I told him that if I had not been productive, intellectually very competent, spiritually productive, and physically productive, and financially stable, that my wife will not respect me. Because she's hardworking. If she was the only one producing resources in the family, I will lose respect. So, those are some of the things you need to know. You need to readjust. Every marriage is different. Every person is different. You see, if it is only for enjoyment that you marry, you are wrong. Because what is it that you are giving to the man? Is it sex? The man can get sex cheaper, even more enjoyable, because the professionals are rascals. They have nothing to lose. So, is it food? She can eat food anywhere and pay. Is it respect? She can get respect. I mean, he can get respect in his office. He can have sex anywhere, food anywhere, respect anywhere. Is it to wash his clothes? A laundryman will wash them. After all, he was living before he married you. So, it is this pursuit of purpose. I have tried to do this video several times. I tried to go online. There was no, to go live, there was no network. I tried to do it up. It rained. Then I came down, did one now. It was drizzling, so I stopped after 30 minutes. And I'm in this car, I'm sweating. If I put on the air conditioning, the sound will enter the recording. But I derive pleasure from what I'm doing because I'm pursuing a purpose. My wife derives pleasure from running the school because she's raising another generation. So it is the outcome of marriage that makes marriage worth it. It is the result of marriage. Marriage is not an achievement. No, it's like having a degree. A degree without employment, a degree without productivity. It's just a degree that cannot feed you. It's a receipt that you went to school and you paid school fees. In fact, sometimes it's less than tissue paper. So it is the outcome of your marriage that is an achievement. When I see young boys dance, young girls dance in their receptions, I say if these people knew what they were getting into, they would be very sober. That's why I like the deeper life marriage and Jehovah's Witnesses, very sober. So you must be very careful to realize that marriage requires readjustment and readjustment. Now, and requires endurance, because I will share with you later. So the second arrow we are going into is marriage is a relationship. Marriage is based on relationship. It is the cultivation and the nourishment and the fertilization of these relationships that makes a Christian marriage endurable. Number one, relationship is the way we connect. Relationship is the way we interact. And this triangular relationship, or how will I call it, the diamond shape again. It is I've forgotten it. It is that relationship, that triangular pyramid relationship that sustains marriage. So you have God at the peak of the pyramid. You have the one side of the pyramid, that is the husband from the base of the pyramid relating with God, and the wife relating with God, and the children relating with God, and then the society. Their responsibility to society is in the middle. And so, if these relationships are not understood, you cannot. And so, you must realize that marriage is a typology of a relationship between Christ and the church. He said, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband as unto the Lord. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church. If you understand that, if you know the problems we cause for Christ, the demand we place on Christ, the things he tolerates from us, and the sacrifice he made for us, and he gave himself unto the church, you will know that submission is easier than husbands, love your wives. We will come to that. So, it is this understanding that keeps a Christian marriage sustainable. It is what preserves it. Without responsibility to society, without knowing the relationship between man and God in marriage. In Hebrews chapter 13 verse 4, it says, husbands, love your wives. Marriage is honorable in all things, and the marriage bed undefiled. So, this relationship must be honored. You must bring honor. You can't bring a girl to your house to sleep on your marital bed. You're an animal. No, you don't do that. Your matrimonial bed. You don't treat your wife shabbily in public. Madam, you can't speak to your husband anyhow in public. She is your husband. It is this understanding of the organogram. Inasmuch as we have equal rights, we have feminism. In Christian marriages, there is an organogram. There is the head, there is the neck, and then there is the body. Once there is no respect for a president in a country, the citizens are gone, and the president is gone. The nation disintegrates. And so, there is an organogram. If you give birth to a king, you need to respect that king. In Yoruba language, they say, Eviovega, that you give birth to a king, then you reverence the king. Many of you women respect us, pastors, more than your husbands. That is a sin. Honor your own husband. Some of us men treat side chicks better than our wives. No, it's a honor your wife. Honor your wife as a weaker vessel and treat her with tenderness so that your prayers be not hindered. In Malachi chapter 2, it says from verse 15, it says, I have this against you. You pray, you weep, you do all that, and I don't hear your prayers because you are dealing treacherously with your wife, the wife of your youth. Violence against a woman, anger against a woman, rough talking against your wife of your youth will hinder your prayer. You will not do well. So, you submit to your own husband, then you honor your wife. You treasure her as a weaker vessel. Now, so you must control your temper as a man when you are talking to your wife. You must control your appetite for sex to remain in marriage. You can't just see your wife as a sex object. Now, I have had challenges. And because she is my wife, there are things I will not do. She bought a generator and she was cheated with 400,000 naira by 400,000 naira. I did not say anything because she is my wife. We paid 3.5 million naira for a printing machine for nearly 6 years now. We have not had it. I will not bother her because she is my wife. That relationship is more than that money. And so, you don't treat your wife anyhow because of some things that have gone wrong. Once I learned that, I started controlling my temper because the Bible says a wise man controls his temper. And I don't want to be foolish. Don't want to be stupid in the sight of God. So, when you have an organogram and there is this relationship, you must learn to nurture it. You must learn to respect it. You must learn to value it. So it is this value and understanding of the organogram of marriage that is absent in many Christian marriages. That's why we are having problems. Even among pastors. Oh, you can speak in tongues. The man can speak in tongues. You can cast out demons. The man can cast out demons. I know one, the man became a bishop. She became a bishop. Excuse me, in a very small church. And she had stroke. The contention, the rivalry will destroy you. And that's why you see pastors and their wives sometimes divorce. It is because of this rivalry, this contention for recognition. And then as a man, you must have the next arrow. And as a woman, you must have the next arrow, even as children, for marriage, a Christian marriage to be sustainable. That will be part 3 of this series on sustainable Christian marriages. I remain your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. God bless you. Subscribe to this channel and join my WhatsApp mentoring group on +234 70 213 6763. God bless you.